Hello and welcome to another episode of Cyrils Brettspiele. My name is Nils and today, in a nutshell edition, the king is dead, Osprey Games. Yeah, and this is really cool. Osprey Games is a British publisher and the king is dead. Yeah, we are talking about Great Britain. So, we have here King Arthur versus Mordred. What a surprise. So, we are at the round table. And this is a game where the Scots against the Welsh, against the Romans, the Roman British, to be 100% correct, fighting against the power of Great Britain. However, Great Britain is divided into 8 different territories, and each single territory has 4 cubes in it. These cubes represent blue for Scottish, red for Welsh, and Romanian is yellow. They are fighting for the majority in there. If there's a majority for one color cube, then this territory will become, for an example, yellow. In this case, there are 2 yellows, 1 red and 1 blue. This game is exactly 8 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8 to be correct, is the number of rounds. During each single round, each single player can decide to play a card. Why you wanted to play a card? The card playing manipulate this whole board. At the start of the game, you're starting with 2 randomly cubes. So you have now followers from the Welsh and the Roman Empire here. Right now, the Roman British Empire. And now you try, because these are the followers, when you have at the end of the game the most followers of all players from the fraction who controls the most territories in Great Britain, you are crowned as a new king. So let's assume the Scottish have this and that territory at the end of the game. 4 territories and 3 red and 1 yellow. Then obviously the Scottish people can crown the new king, and the player who has the most Scottish followers will win the game. So what do you want to do is trying to get these cubes from the board into your player area as followers, but also keep in mind you wanted to have the majority of these cubes in the specific area to get the control of it. So you start with the first area here, indicated here. So these cards will be randomly shuffled and dealt out. So in this case, we are starting here in Aqua Solis. Right now there is 2 reds, 1 yellow and 1 blue. And now each player can decide to either pass and let it stay like it is, or play one of his action cards. Each player has exactly 8 action cards, and only these 8 action cards. It's always the same. So bring into yellow, bring into blue, bring into red. They must be an adjacent to a controlled area of that color. Bring in 1 of each type. You can bring it wherever you want on the board. You could, for an example, you pick 1 of each, and you can bring 2 in here and 1 in here if you want. You could also to tie up here and bring red in, whatever you want. This is the first 5 cards. Then swap the position of these cards. These cards are here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as I told you, in order how you resolve the struggles of this 8 different territories. And then swap 2 to 1 for adjacent countries, or swap 1 and 1 anywhere on the board, cubes. However, every time you are playing one of your 8 action cards, and again, for the whole game you have only 8 action cards, not even a single more. Each player has exactly 8 cards, 8 actions for the whole game per player. If you play that, first of all, you take the action. In this case, you bring in 2 blue. Here, probably. Maybe. If you want. No, it has to be adjacent to a blue one. So let's take another one just for demo purposes. Let's take this one here again. So, and now you bring in this one here, and that one here. But on top of just doing the action, now you can take one cube out from the board into your personal influence. You maybe remembered I said you start with 2 cubes. Now you can decide, oh, it looks very good for the Scottish people, so maybe I will bring out 1 Scottish into my follower supply. Why do I want that? First of all, I get new followers this way, so I can, when Scottish will win, I can be the king later on. Second of all, I also manipulate here the dominance. Let's say I'm not taking the blue one, I'm taking the yellow one out here, then red is back in control. But if I'm taking a red out, keep in mind I put a yellow in and took a red out, now yellow is in control. That means yellow will probably win this territory we are just struggling over. However, my influence is grown up in red. Crazy, or? So you have exactly the same action cards each time you play. It's totally different. This is randomly coming out, except for 6 cubes on the whole board. This is coming randomly out, and what you can do on your turn is either play a card or pass. When you pass for 1 struggle, you are out for this struggle, but you are back in for this, and so on. If you played a card in a previous turn, you can play again a card again until everybody passed. If everybody passed, you clear this territory and mark who's in control, in this scenario yellow, and yellow now is in power for 1 out of 8 territories. At the end of 8 power struggles for 8 regions, the game is over. In theory, everybody played 8 action cards, so 8 times the number of players is the actions of the whole game. Sounds fast, sounds interesting, but the decisions are so tense. So you have to think about, oh, when I'm bringing in this one here, what does it change, and what is the actions do you have left? And oh, that's mind-blowing. It sounds so easy and so simple, but it's like chess. You have billions of opportunities to play, to manipulate the others. There is so much going on. It sounds so easy, so simple, so boring a little bit. And some of these components, these are very thin paper chips, so they are not really good. The board is still a little bit folded here, a little bit round. The cubes are not fancy. It comes around the corner and it looks like, oh, do I really want to play the game? Oh, only 8 decisions, always the same 8 decisions. But no, once you played it, it's a perfect struggle for this one. The sweet spot is by far, by the way, 3 persons. So if you play that with 3 persons, it's so good, it's so tense. You try to manipulate that, and how is it going? And then on top of that, as cream on top, when there's a tie, let's assume here's just a tie in it for this one here, then it not goes to the Welsh, it not goes to the Roman British, it goes to the Saxons. And when the Saxons have at any point in the game 4, everybody is losing, then the Saxons taking over England. So yeah, it's such, if you're in, you're really in for 30 minutes. It's a tactical triage of trying to balance that out and bring out the cubes you don't want in the territory, but on the other hand, you don't want to have that as your followers. You wanted to support your own color, but when you support your color, then you cannot take it out. I mean, then you weaken your own color. So you can hear it. It's brilliant. It's really brilliant. It plays good if you are interested in for this abstract power control, area control, struggling games. That was all in one. That was rules, components, everything all in one this time for The King is Dead from Osprey Games here, from this English publisher. And one thing I wanted to show you, and that is the box. Let's take a look at the box. Hopefully I can open it here. It is like a book, and here is a insert in. Maybe you cannot see it because it's transparent, but this is how you open and shut that box here. It's like a book. Is that cool? Yeah, that's cool. That's a fresh, good idea. And you can put it into your, like this old bookshelf game series from Evelyn Hill on your bookshelf. Yeah, cool idea, cool game. I really like it. It's only 30 minutes roughly, sometimes 20, 25 if you're really fast in decision, if you have people who are needing a little bit longer to think about that. And in this game, usually I'm a super fast player, but in this game I always need time to think about my next move, just to let you know. So then it could be 40 minutes. However, for me, it's when you finish the game, I always wanted to play it again and again and again to see, I mean, everybody has exactly the same decisions to make. But how can you manipulate the others to win with that one? That is a question in The King is Dead. Cyrils Brettspiele, my name is Nils, in a nutshell edition, and see you next time. Bye bye.